The sound is pretty good, so let's get into it. Her story, let's go. You're logged in. Enter query to access archive footage. Oh, and then we're gonna be in this computer looking up these files, trying to figure out what happened. And they already got murder typed into the search. So I guess let's search it. We got 4 videos here. Let's see.
You think it's murder?
Yeah.
I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. So that means we've watched it.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder? I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
Do we? All the
I'd like to
clips
speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
So is any of this real? Okay, so what did she say in this one?
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder.
You have to type in.
What can I do to help?
Okay, that's all she said on that one. February.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
So I'm gonna start with February murder. Simon. Get nothing else. What if I just do Simon? Oh, there goes some stuff. 61. I want to just add all of them. So sure, I mean, there a scroll? Access limited to first 5 entries. Oh, okay. So can we just play them?
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Not gonna automatically play the next one.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. And border photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Together.
It's the Rockington Arms, The Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Okay.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
Oh, Super Mario.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Can I take this out of the session? So she said that Ernst
Simon Smith. He
Simon
works at
Smith.
Ernst Brothers Glass. They do
Ernst
windows,
Brothers
all
Glass.
kinds of glass.
Ernst Brothers Glass. Oh, never mind.
Simon is 6 foot, dark.
He makes
Simon
artistic.
Smith, Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work, mirror making, feature windows, artistic. Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair. Not that there's anything. And border photo is a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
In Rome.
This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run.
In arms.
It's the Rockington Arms. It's run by Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with.
Peter and Susan.
It's the Rockington Arms I likes to drink with. I have it sometimes. Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Helen. Oh, okay.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about her argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
That make you feel a certain type of way? Oh, okay.
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
In the attic. Can I move these? It's not.
This other person doesn't exist.
Well,
I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything. Have you looked at the cat flap?
cat flap. A guitar.
You want me to play something? I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay.
Are you the world's greatest killer?
It needs tuning. No, it's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So they both had a love for the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain, but he only cared for the youngest one. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair. Oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
Have you just told us what you did to somebody? Okay. So, the wind and rain. I got an achievement for that. Gee, thanks. A blonde wig. The attic.
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy. Reminded me of being a girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things. We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time. We decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
So you were pregnant. Was it a full-time
Yes.
pregnancy?
I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. She recognised me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. It was a dollhouse.
Hannah.
She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
When did the music start playing?
I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds.
They had all that in a dollhouse?
Pillows. We spent hours and hours playing it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories.
Yeah.
Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise.
Like
We
noise?
tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights.
So, let me see, what is she?
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before
The
the
pregnancy.
Hannah had a miscarriage. This
Oh,
was late
Hannah.
in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course. We were aligned again.
Oh,
But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
so Hannah and Simon were together. Okay.
my name is Hannah. Hannah.
You're Hannah.
It's palindrome. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work if you mirror it though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry.
Why is she talking in third
I live
person?
at 31 Gladstone Street.
You schizo or something?
What are you doing? I'm talking about Eve.
Eve?
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Huh? Okay.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead,
So you're a twin?
but I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Wait a minute, do y'all see that? There's a face showing up. Who's Eve?
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it.
Mm.
Really hate her sometimes.
Did you kill Eve?
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater.
You really
There
didn't
was no
like
one
Eve.
else around. She was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it out. And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
What's up,
But that was
baby?
it. It was
Take
just
me
a
out to
moment.
dinner.
We made up after.
Feeling on this Saturday, I
was a
feel like I
life-long
haven't
relationship.
talked to you in a long time. I haven't seen you in the wavelengths of the internet. How are you doing? I hope you're having a wonderful Saturday and a wonderful long weekend. I hope that you actually get to enjoy your long weekend. No work involved. I'm just sitting here playing this game. So this lady, Hannah, I think she killed about 2 people at this point. I'm not sure what the object of this game is. Great, no work. That's all that matters. As long as you ain't got no work, that's all that matters. I think she done killed about 2 people. I don't know I don't know how I win this game per se. You have to go through this database and you click stuff in the search criteria to find these files of this lady talking. And so far, what do I know so far? I guess her name is Hannah, but she keep talking about herself in third person. And Hannah and the guy Simon were together, and there was a pregnancy involved somewhere. And she was talking about her childhood. There was this girl named Eve, and she sometimes really didn't like her because she was more popular with the boys. And she was talking, hey Puff! And she was talking about how one time when they was at the beach and she held her head under the water for a really long time, and then the thing cut off. And then that's when you came in. Yes, third person. One clip she was like, yes, my name is Hannah Smith. And then she was like, well, Hannah and Simon moved back to his parents' house after. And I'm like, ma'am, hello. So I think that's all I know so far. She said he used to work at he used to work at some glass place, and then he started working at some place, and some lady with blonde hair. Oh yeah, the maid at the bar, she had blonde hair, and something about a blonde wig. I'm kind of thinking maybe she put on the blonde wig to kill him, to make it look like it was somebody else. And because she was like, I don't know where the blonde hairs came from. We used to keep a bunch of dolls in the attic, because she was talking about this big old dollhouse in the attic. Child, it's crazy. A mess. A mess is what this is. Let me go to this next clip.
A police station. Yeah. When I was young, we
You went
ran
to the
away on my
police?
birthday.
Who?
Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off, I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve. So my parents let me off.
Really did not like her. She was not your friend. She was not your friend.
My mother called me Eve.
Immediate confusion. Did you hear that? Immediate confusion. I don't even know what the top. Let me go back to this first one.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Know what to type in? Hate Eve? I don't know. Um, delete. I'm trying to get rid of these clips because I don't even know why I put them down here. I thought it was gonna be like a playlist where I could just play them instead of just clicking each one, but I'm evidently not. Let me think. I'm trying to see what I can type in next. Hannah and did I already do Hannah and Simon? No, I didn't. Okay, let's see.
Differences? She's a better driver than me.
Who?
She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys.
You got a
And
split
like the boy,
personality.
I would have to pursue him.
So right now
It was
you're
that way
Eve,
with Carl. Hannah met him first.
but she was too
had
shy.
Such a crush.
So then you turned into
I
Eve.
let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
Wait, can this word
It's
be
not that
said on
different.
stream?
A bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze. We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
In it. What do you mean you used a hairbrush? How do you? So Hannah was too shy with boys, so Hannah has never been known. But Eve was not shy, and she was the one that got it in. You're Hannah and Eve. Okay. But she wasn't shy around
Hannah
Simon.
was so smitten with Simon.
Uh-huh.
She started getting jealous. Didn't want to share.
Okay.
Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went. Kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn. At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another Carl on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back.
I'm playing with Ouija boards too.
After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules.
So she gave her
Deliberately
flower
broke the
to
rules.
Carl. I meant to Tom
She
Cruise.
wanted to be the first to sleep with him. I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time.
So Hannah got pregnant the first time she did it.
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding. And after the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist.
So you had to hide your
I would
personality
sneak
up there.
out, but in case anyone recognised me, I started wearing a wig.
A blonde wig.
Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant. couldn't. I mean, I couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers, drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways. I was 17.
Trying to get pregnant.
It felt like I was being punished.
You were punishing yourself.
But it was Hannah who had betrayed us.
Because she got married and
I'd
found
stopped
love.
when one of the guys gave me an STD.
Blech.
When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
Okay. Do y'all see the... Okay, that time it was a siren. Last time it was somebody's face.
The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Hold on, let me go back here.
Difference is, she's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through. I had to pursue him. She had such... It got difficult. She had lots of excuses. My virginity first. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first.
Carl got her pregnant. Did I do Hannah and Eve first? Oh.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear and she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
I already tried pregnancy. Marriage. Oh. Got something here.
I hoover my dust every week, maybe less.
Does Hoover mean
I once
vacuum?
asked Eleanor how often I should dust, and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week, but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books.
You keep her
cigarettes
cigarettes.
inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack.
Mm.
I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that. So, our sex life is probably fairly average for a couple after 10 years of marriage.
Okay.
Simon was very moral about that sort of thing. He wouldn't just walk out there and sleep with anyone. He wasn't that kind of guy. He took his marriage very seriously.
Okay.
After the kiss, the next time, he took me back to the house, to our parents' house, to their house. So, it was definitely him. I sometimes think he wanted to get caught to prove to himself that we were different people. He told me about his marriage, told me how his wife was completely different to me.
Well, he realized that you was crazy.
I almost burst out laughing.
Say it in this one.
My hoover, my dust.
Oh,
every week.
Eleanor.
Hoovering every putting on a brave. Cigarettes.
Eleanor and Doug.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them.
Why?
Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left.
Mm-hmm.
I walked in, Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle, it was cold. I looked quickly in the living room, nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there.
Right.
I had a shower, the phone rang whilst I was in the shower, I didn't answer it, I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened.
What happened?
That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
What happened?
1984. It was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer.
Mm.
It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police. A forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
Forensic entomologist.
This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions about me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
So I got 3 words that I want to. Eric.
He was wearing a shirt. a blue turtleneck shirt
Latin hair.
and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Trying to make it seem like he ran away.
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left.
Mm-hmm.
On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job, but he didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
Maybe I need to type in the Rock.
Yes, there's a car that we share, Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked on the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back. Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one.
Eric convinced him to get a car.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Diane.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, it must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Thank you, Tree. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Everybody in the chat, I appreciate y'all. I hope y'all are having a wonderful Saturday and enjoying your long weekend. Hopefully it is a truly long weekend, no work. Appreciate y'all for being here.
Not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
What is fennel? You got me. I got you, Tree. Have you ever eaten fennel? What is fennel? Anybody know? Somebody Google it, please. What is fennel? Please. Is she singing again? It's only 17 seconds.
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
Maybe I should look up The Rock. Okay.
Oh God, I don't know. I mean, I guess The Rock. You've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong. No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone summoned you from the rock.
Bummer. Well, let's see, that last one had sirens. No. And I seen someone's face pop up on the. Okay.
Bruce? Oh, yeah, no, it's nothing. I was going through the top cupboard in my kitchen and the chair slipped and I kind of hit the door with my face. We hurt like hell.
Or were you scuffling with somebody trying not to die?
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull our harness to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. And she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. She snuck a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen.
That was nice of her.
So much of our bodies were synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits. When she went home, Sam had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister he didn't know she had.
In her brain.
She knew that instant. The look on his face. She knew.
Who is this face that keeps popping up? Anybody seeing this? Did I do Eric and Diane? I did pregnancy, but did I do pregnant? Ooh.
I got pregnant. Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married. Yes, I'm fine. I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant. It's morning sickness.
So you're pregnant now. There's the face again. Music.
Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant. It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born. Mother Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower.
Yeah.
Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince.
Oh, I never heard that part.
So she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind. But she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
The happy ending. I'm getting achievements, so I'm doing something.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving licence on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Glasgow.
I got in the car and I drove. And just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep. Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
But when did you get into the small wreck? It's 5 seconds.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
And then she said something about a hospital. Am I supposed to be piecing these all together?
Ask the hospital.
I mean, I know I am, but ask the hospital. Ask the hospital what?
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital?
That's the hospital. Probably just gonna be, yeah. Get rid of it. These things. Introduction to the computer technology that obtains footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive at Portsmouth. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, I should have read this before. To retrieve a clip, type in a word into the search field, click search, and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words. If you are working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for an exact match against the entire statement. Yes, I was there. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the user tags box and type in your desired tags. For any further assistance, please contact your department's information technology representative. I should have read this before. Here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999. Then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the old archives were flooded in 97. But figured this would be enough. Take your time. But I know it says hack. Mirror game. That's a face. What is mirror game? DB checker. Database checker. Clock. Southeast Constabulary. Don't know what that means. Portsmouth. killed.
And what did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Oh, yeah? Baby.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday. We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. He lived in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
I need to do parents
No.
and Glazier. Okay.
I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
Oh, wow.
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
And now she's saying she's pregnant now here.
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed, and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over.
Yeah?
I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body.
Whose body?
I screamed, and that's when I called the police.
Police.
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible.
That you got pregnant.
I don't know what I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Police.
When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but
I think you're
they
going
said
to
it was
jail.
food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Hurt who? His parents? Y'all already do body? She's singing again.
The bruise. I have a really fast metabolism, so stuff like that just comes and goes.
But the bruise was on that side.
I don't know if there's much more that I can tell you that I haven't already told the other policemen. I found the body. His body doing a meal. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
When did he usually wear them?
Really? Okay. Here's the rest. Oh, they laid a body on the doctor. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle out of her breastbone. Oh, the wind and rain. The sound could pierce a heart of stone. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. But the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was, oh, the dreadful wind and rain.
Y'all tell her. Don't.
Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Why did y'all tell her to keep singing that?
Can you imagine?
That made me forget everything.
I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
There goes something different.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's
Dead.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me. Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story wasn't there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand, I guess. I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. Isn't that strange? She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
Probably all we're gonna get from Florence, but see. Okay, we got
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
that thing again. What is it trying to tell me? What is it trying to get me to do?
It was just me and her. Eve was the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
Okay. I'm going to take a quick break, you guys. Okay, y'all. I am back. All right. Thank y'all for sticking here with me. Had to feed my doggy real quick. He was starting to go crazy. All right. Okay. So Florence, we know. So was she actually a twin? Let's see. Twin.
Twins?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you really asking me that question?
Yeah.
Are you out of your mind?
Are you out of
Twins.
yours?
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
He said something about his throat looked cut. I feel like I'm just all over the place.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not books so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
Mm.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books. We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flick between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper and dressing the pictures. Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
That he worked at Glazier's. Okay.
A mobile phone, Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaciers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle. I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the glaciers. No. Everyone loved Simon. He's a glazier, he doesn't have much money. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
About a phone. Mobile phone. Yeah. I don't know what. They didn't have in their instructions how you remove these. I'm scared that's gonna delete everything that I searched for and everything. Did I do parents?
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Marriage.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days, no one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage. The worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications.
What did she say about the cap? He said something about a cap that had. It was a skirt cap or something like that. Yeah.
They said it was food poisoning. There was
Food
something
poisoning.
in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt.
Death cap. Food poisoning.
At the time they said it was poison. Food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
Death caps.
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead. They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way he would have picked death caps. But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
Hansel. This gonna help at all?
Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
STD. We had an STD. Okay, nothing new on that. You can't take it off. Okay, whatever. No, I still don't know what it is. Okay, never mind. Throat had been cut. Oh.
On his throat. How? Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut.
I thought she found it.
There was a lot of blood.
But this is different. You hid his body in the attic?
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round.
And sliced his
cut his
throat?
throat clean open. She'd only meant to scare him off.
Okay. Blood. Where'd she go?
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records? Nothing like this has ever happened to me before. The blood. It's probably the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
You must be talking about the miscarriage right there.
Well, Fine, considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people have been there through my things. It's like I've been burgled. And worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in, as good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So, she was sat behind him. She had my wig on. And she'd been there all day. And she had blood on her. And she was in shock.
The cellar.
The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen. You can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us so we could then disprove it rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch to make sure the alibi stuck.
Bye. Watch.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
Bags.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. Then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
I was gonna type something before Simon's parents, though. Glasses. I said something about his glasses.
He wasn't present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror, a nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me. Well, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it by hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror and he gave it to me.
Chich, how's it going down there? You done? Nobody's talking to us. I can't type. I was trying to put not yet. No. Okay, I'll hang a bit longer. Buzz when you're ready. I'm gonna call you now. Hey, you done? Yes. So you think you understand why your mother did what she did? This is my mom? No, I don't. That's understandable, Sarah. You can always come back again. I'll be outside. Log off and meet me over the road. Sarah has logged off and crossed the road. I don't understand what... I don't understand what I... So I was the baby that she actually had. It was a cool game. I just don't get... The only thing that I take from this is that she was a little, you know... And these don't look like any of the clips that I watched. A cool little game. I'm used to just a little bit more action. I guess I did, Tree. I guess I did. I got this message after I went to the last clip, I guess. I don't know if that was the last clip. And it was like, now do you understand why your mom did what she did? And I'm like, no. And then it was like, oh, it's okay. That's understandable. Log off and meet me on the other side of the road. Sarah, if you're stuck, you could always try admin random or the unlock command. What's that mean?